Hello everyone. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to show you what I'm getting out the door today. Instead, I am going to talk to you about a situation that's happened over the last week on my eBay, how it got resolved, how to deal with scammers. So this is a weird situation. So if the tracking shows has not been delivered, normally you would have to refund them. You would. eBay's not going to take your side. You normally refund them and then go elsewhere, go to the courier and get your money back. Obviously, if it's not showing as delivered, it's lost, whatever, go down that path. But in this case was a bit different. So what happened was, I sold a 12-pack of masking tape, of Gladiator masking tape, and I sold it for £25. And I sent it with Every, and I bought the label on eBay. Now, the tracking number for Every, so the tracking number shows as the label printed, they're expecting the parcel, and then I dropped it off at a parcel shop, and that's as far as it got. Then late last week, I get a message from the buyer. They say, "Hi, I purchased the masking tape from you with free postage, but when it was delivered I had to pay £8.50 postage. You didn't pay the full postage. Please see the photos. Can I get my money back? Thank you." Now, when I look at the photos, so he's got the slip where he had to pay, and it does say £8.50 Royal Mail. Yeah? Sender didn't pay the full amount. It doesn't show any of my details on there, doesn't show anything but his address. Then I go on to the other photos, and it's a picture of my parcel, 2 pictures of my parcel, with Royal Mail stickers on it saying about the increase in and how much he had to pay, and the increase in fees and all of this, £8.50 paid, free delivery and all of this. And then every one of them stickers from Royal Mail that are on my parcel that I sent all have the corner peeled, like he's took it off and stuck it on this. They don't look like they've just been stuck on once. They look like they've been peeled, all bumpy. And at first I was like, when I saw the pictures, I said, oh no, like I've undersent it, let me just go onto the tracking and have a quick look. This is why you got to be careful, because I almost fell for it. I really did. When he sent me this, I said, oh, let me go onto the track and see what's happened on there. He'll probably say, I'll probably say the same thing as him, and then I'll just, apologize. And anyway, you can clearly see from the label, I paid 10 kg. 10 kg is a heavy weight. This parcel does not weigh 10 kg. It weighs under 10 kg, but I paid up to 10 kg. So the only way that he would be charged is if, and it was a medium parcel. This parcel was a medium parcel. I know I've got parcel up there. I know exactly. I could tell you exactly how much the parcel weighed. Just over 5 kg, so call it 6. So yeah, it weighs just under 6 kg. So I saw this and I said, hold on a minute, it's not even Royal Mail. I sent it with Every, the tracking number's Every. And I know it hasn't been scanned from the parcel shop, but they've clearly delivered it. So how has this happened? So I messaged the customer back and I said, hi, I'm sorry to hear this has happened, and I'm sorry to hear there's been some confusion. I didn't send the parcel with Royal Mail. I sent it with Every. So it must be a different order purchased from someone else. So look forward to resolving this as soon as possible with you. Kind regards, Adam. This is before they sent me the pictures of... So they only sent me the picture of like the little slip that they got, you know, through the door. Paid the difference, basically. So then they sent me the pictures, you know, so I've just seen all the labels sticking off and the pennies kind of dropped at that point. I said, hi, I don't know what happened. They delivered it raw mail. Have a look at the pictures of the box. That's what they sent me. So at that point I spoke to eBay and I said, look, this is the situation. I feel like they're trying to pull a fast one. I know it's only £8.50 and I could have just paid them. But I was at the point where it's like, you're trying to scam me. And the only reason you're asking for £8.50 and not more is because you've had to pay for a parcel from Royal Mail of someone else that was £8.50. So imagine if they're doing this to everyone. Imagine if they're just buying off everyone and just, you know, putting the stickers on and getting £8.50 off everyone back. You know what I mean? It's just a liberties, really. It's just taking the biscuit. So I wasn't having it. So I called up eBay for a little bit of advice, and they basically said to me, go back to them and ask them, because I said to eBay, I said, look, I'll hold my hands up. I don't get everything right in this situation. I'm pretty sure I'm right. And if, you know, there has been times in the past where someone said to me, oh, I had to pay this, and it tallies up, and I go, oh, sorry, here you go, here's your refund, my bad. You know, it's my lesson to learn, you know what I'm saying? And then we move on, right? And they say, no worries, thanks for paying it. These mistakes happen, and we move on, right? Anyway, I wasn't willing to do that for this, because this person's clearly trying to pull a fast one. And from my experience in the past, like I remember, yeah, when I first started selling stuff from China, I would literally send it, and then people would buy it, and if it didn't come in time and they were being a bit too, you know, wanting their item and all, and asking for a refund, I'll just give them it, and then I'll just give them it, and I'll just give them the refund. Like, I wouldn't even wait to see if it gets scanned on delivery, because most of the time with them large letters, it, you know, only gets scanned if the postman can decide that, you know, he wants to scan it on the doorstep. It's like a cheaper service. So it's like part scanned. It only gets scanned when it's delivered, if they choose to deliver it, right? So I remember I went through a phase and I was just refunding people, and I don't know if they put me on a forum or what, but basically I put a target on my back. Basically, and at the time I was sending hundreds of large letters a week. People was just saying, I haven't received it, can I have my money, and I noticed a lot of them had the same surname, so it was like just annoying. People were just badgering me, and I was just refunding. It got to the point where I had to get them off my back, so I had to start being a bit more strict. No, we need to wait to this date before I can refund you, and all of this, right? I had to go through the whole process, and then slowly but surely I've got them off my back now. And with the second-hand stuff, because it's a bit bigger, I send it tracked anyway, like fully tracked, so this rarely happens. But anyway, spoke to eBay. They told me, ask the customer, because they've never heard of this either, ever, in their whole years of working at eBay. They've never heard of this happening at all, you know, in terms of Royal Mail delivering Every's parcels and then asking the customer to pay the dip. Like, it doesn't happen. They don't, you know, they don't work together. The same with, so I think sometimes Royal Mail will use they deliver parcel for stuff, and they have a little contract with them, but not Every. The only thing where they do cross over is the parcel shop that I drop them off at. Obviously, Every gets picked up from there. So, but anyway, the eBay rep told me to ask the customer for tracking to show exactly what's happened for this parcel, right? So I messaged the customer back and I say, hi, I'm sorry to hear this. I've spoken to eBay about this issue. It's a very strange situation, as I didn't send it Royal Mail and the label clearly shows 10 kg. I know the parcel is under 10 kg. I've been advised by eBay to ask you for Royal Mail's tracking so I can look into this situation further. Sorry again for any inconvenience caused by this issue. Talk soon. Kind regards, Adam. So I always try and stay professional. They said, I haven't received anything else with the tracking. It was just the paper that I've already sent you. Then they sent me a screenshot of my tracking on the listing, basically on the order details. They said, this is what's showing on eBay. Did you purchase the label from eBay? It happened to me. I purchased the wrong label with a different weight, and eBay made it automatically, and I had to purchase another to match. Exactly the weight of the parcel, as the shop refused to accept it because of the weight. May that happen to you as well now. So maybe they don't speak good English. I was a bit all over the place. And then at this point, I'm getting a bit ticked off. You know what I mean? I'm trying to stay respectful, but we're just going around in circles. They're trying to fight their corner. I don't believe them. You know what I mean? It's like, listen, if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. I'll pay the £8.50. It's not even a lot of money. I don't care about the money. It's just a principle, right? And I want these people to stay away from me and my store. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I said, no, I send hundreds of parcels a month, and I've never had an issue. I've just checked online with Every, and Royal Mail never delivered our parcels. If there's a problem with the shipping declaration, it would be shown up. It would show up at the post office when I drop the parcel off. Where I drop the parcel off. eBay and I are not happy and don't feel comfortable refunding you. The stickers on the box are not even Every, and they've all been peeled off. If you have any further concerns, please contact eBay. Kind regards, Adam. And at that point, I had enough, right? I'm just fed up. I just blocked them. I said, you can't message me now. You know, if they want to go down this route, they go down it the proper way. I've entertained them enough. You know what I mean? We're pushing like day 4 now or something. I said, I've entertained them enough. Block them. I don't want to deal with. I don't even want them seeing me again on eBay. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with them at all. So they can't message me now. So they open up a case, right? So that's what you do if an item's not received. Case. That's what they open. So let's find the case. So they basically opened the case and they said, I had to pay £8.50. I'm requesting a refund for the postage. And I said, because you have to reply on a case. I said, I'm sorry to hear it, but I didn't send it with Royal Mail. I've spoken to eBay. They understand. I paid up to 10 kg on the postage. The stickers are from Royal Mail and have been peeled. I basically just told the whole situation, left it there. We didn't go back and forth at all from that point. You have to wait for it to hit a certain day before you can ask eBay to step in. So to see if we can try and resolve it ourselves. So I waited until the day before. I didn't realize. I thought it was the day of. So I waited the day before, called up eBay again, spoke to representative number 2. And they turned around to me and said, to be honest, we can see the parcel's been delivered. We don't understand what's happened. I don't understand how this could happen. It seems a bit fishy. Seems a bit dodgy. If you contact us tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be able to close the case in your favor. I said, all right, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. All of this. Going off the phone. Anyway, the next day comes, call them up. They take a look at everything. They say, yeah, the parcel's clearly been delivered. You know, the customer could try and open up the request again and appeal it. And at that point, it might be closed in the customer's favor, because normally we won't refund you if the tracking doesn't show as delivered. But in this case, we can clearly see it's been delivered. Something weird's going on. We're taking your side, Adam. Close the case. So they close the case. I got feedback today, negative feedback from the customer. And the negative feedback says, I paid £8.50 for the postage, and then they showed the same pictures. So I called up eBay again today, spoke to the 4th person at eBay, and turned around and they said they've never in all their years heard of Royal Mail delivering every stuff and then asking the customer for the postage. They said normally in this situation, if it was your fault, Adam, the customer would be obliged to pay it if they want the item, and then, you know, they would have to talk to you to pay them back. But we can clearly see something weird, like this ain't right, basically. They'll have that removed from me in a day or two, in the next sort of day. So that's all good. So the moral of the story is, don't just sit there and be walked all over, because you'll put a target on your back and they'll keep coming back. Just don't have it, you know, don't have it. This guy can go bother someone else. I mean, a bit of a waste of time, to be honest, for £8.50. But it's the principle, you know. That's what this is, the principle. You can't be doing this, you know. It's wrong. It's wrong on every level, you know. And it makes people stay away from selling on eBay as well, you know. It makes people not want to use the platform. But luckily, eBay has been, you know, fully on my side, doing the right thing. They've been fair. They've been giving the other person a chance too, you know. They've and yeah, luckily in this case they're removing the feedback. I don't know if you know that you can have the feedback removed, but it's always worth trying to remove the feedback if you've done everything, if you've shown everything, that you've tried everything in your power to resolve the situation, and you are in the right. You know, 9 times out of 10 eBay is going to remove the feedback, so it's definitely worth going down that avenue. Just be careful, you know, if you're selling on eBay or any platform, just be careful, you know, cover your bum, get that tracking. You know, I bet they thought sending me the pictures is helping them, but it wasn't. It's like ultimately showed that the item's been delivered. So if they didn't even send me the photos and open the case, I would have to refund them the whole 25 quid, because the every stopped at a certain point. They didn't even show the full tracking, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot trying to pull a fast one. But yeah, just be careful out there, you know what I'm saying? I hope you have a good day.